It tells the story of an ugly, useless teenager named Amakawa Yuto, a descendant of a demon hunter. He has a protective talisman given to him by his grandmother, but the talisman's power has weakened, attracting the attention of demons and even demon girls. Then his childhood friend Rinko woke him up because they would be late for school. She rode him to wake him up and threw a cat at him. On the way to school, Yuto sneezes because he is allergic to cats. Suddenly, a beautiful girl named Himari appears who seems to know Yuto and tries to grope him. Seeing this, Rinko took Yuto to escape from her. At school, during recess, Rinko drags Yuto to the roof and jealously asks about the previous girl. Unfortunately, Yuto doesn't know her either. Then Yuto's classmate is suddenly possessed by demons and attacks them to kill Yuto. Sensing the evil aura, Himari comes to protect Yuto. Himari fought against the demon and hit the man's stomach until the demon came out. That way, Himari can eliminate the demon. After defeating him, Himari immediately left there. During the night, Yuto wondered about what had happened to him, and then Himari slipped between his sheets and started touching him again. Himari explained that the protective charm on his chest had lost its effect. Himari also says she is a cat demon sworn to serve Yuto. At the same time, Rinko enters and sees them making out. Of course, Rinko is very upset and tries to separate them. Then Himari explained to them that Yuto's family were demon hunters in ancient times. That's why many demons have a grudge against them and will attack them continuously. Himari has a debt to the Yuto family and will serve Yuto forever because her ancestors were saved by the Yuto family. The next day, Himari joined Yuto's class and sat beside him. This makes Rinko annoyed with Himari just because she has a big boobs. Rinko challenged her to live with Yuto, and Himari accepted. They did all kinds of physical tests because Rinko was the best athlete in school. But Himari easily beat her in all the tests Rinko gave. In the end, Himari will live with Yuto. Rinko is still annoyed every time she sees them making out, even though she also wants to do the same thing because she likes Yuto. The demons are worried that the demon hunter is still alive, so a water dragon demon named Shizuku appears, intending to kill Yuto. Then, his classmates plan to go to the beach and invite Himari. But Himari has no swimsuit, so they shop on their day off. Himari asks for advice from him on choosing a swimsuit that suits her. Rinko squeezed her boobs to make sure what her size was, that way she could prepare her swimsuit.
やっぱセクシー系の方が似合うかしらね。これかな。
They went to the beach, and Tezu couldn't stop looking at Himari wearing a swimsuit, and he exploded. Himari stays by the beach, and Rinko realizes she can't swim, so they give Himari a life vest. Meanwhile, the others play together, and Rinko takes the opportunity to flirt with Yuto. But Yuto is more worried about Himari, so he looks for her. Yuto finds her and tries to bring her back to the shore, but suddenly a wave knocks them over. Tentacles attack them, and he took Yuto to where the demon Shizuku was. Shizuku tries to kill him, but Himari gets out of the water and saves Yuto. Unfortunately, the tentacles before are also there. He manages to tie her up and confine her in a whirlpool. Yuto tried to save her but in vain and ended up trapped. They were on the verge of death if not for Himari, who combined water with her blood to be free from the whirlpool. After that, Himari immediately killed the tentacle. Himari told Yuto to leave while she distracted Shizuku, but Yuto refused because he could not leave her. After seeing that, Shizuku gives them a chance and warns them that she will kill them. The next day, when Yuto bathed, Shizuku suddenly appeared sitting on him. Yuto shouted in surprise, and Himari and Rinko heard him rushing away to see what had happened. It turned out that Shizuku came to see them to confirm whether Yuto intended to kill the demons. Actually, Shizuku has lost her life due to the actions of demon hunters. That's why she hates demon hunters so much. Yuto explained that he didn't want to fight and chose to live peacefully with Himari and Rinko. Since Yuto was different from other demon hunters, Shizuku decided to stay with him to get to know him better. The next day, Shizuku prepared breakfast. As her cooking was so delicious it surprised everyone that even Shizuku had done other chores. Taking advantage of this, Shizuku made fun of Himari as she could do nothing but fight. Himari was upset by Shizuku's words. She went out and met a teacher named Kisaragi. Kisaragi offered Himari a side job at a cafe, and Himari accepted it as training to serve her master better. Unexpectedly, the cafe's owner was a demon named Lizlet. Himari realized it and was careful of her. Knowing that Himari had a part-time job, Yuto and the others stopped by to see her. Himari tried to give Yuto special treatment for being her master. Himari also warned Yuto to be careful because Lizlet was a demon. Lizlet was worried because Yuto was a descendant of demon hunters. She thought that Yuto was after her. Therefore, Lizlet tries to drive Yuto away from her place by putting an amulet in her tea. But Shizuku realized that and immediately gave it to Teizu. Himari attacked Lizlet. Lizlet said that she didn't want to hurt Yuto, but since Himari didn't listen to her, Lizlet used her magic to make all her customers leave the place. After a while of fighting, Himari finally managed to stab her with her sword. Unfortunately, she did not die. But they realized that Lizlet was not a demon but a 100-year-old magical object that gained consciousness. Himari tries to break the cup, but Yuto manages to grab it. Yuto explains that he doesn't want to hurt her, so she has nothing to worry about. Finally, everything ended peacefully, and Lizlet was very grateful to him for saving her life. Yuto wakes up from his sleep, and accidentally, his hand holds Himari's soft boobs. Yuto tries to leave, but Shizuku is also there. Seeing Yuto always making out makes Rinko annoyed with them. Even Lizlet also fell in love with Yuto after he saved her. At night, Himari thinks the protective amulet made Yuto lose his childhood memories, so Himari suggested that he go to his hometown. They went there together, greeted by a spirit girl named Kaya. She was pleased to see Himari but hated Yuto because, to protect him, Himari had to leave the place. Then Yuto was resting and began to remember the past. It turns out that Himari is a cat demon cared for by his grandmother. They always played together, and Yuto remembers his first kiss with Himari. Himari was a little annoyed that it took so long for Yuto to remember their memories. At the same time, a demon named Ajaha appears and attacks them. They started fighting, and Himari asked her to surrender peacefully, as Yuto had no intention of killing the demon. However, Ajaha is not interested in that and only wants to increase her status by killing a demon hunter. Ajaha also brought a giant demon to help them kill Yuto. Shizuku and the others saw that and tried to help. Suddenly, a one-eyed demon named Sasa appeared and attacked them. But Shizuku was stronger than her, and Shizuku won the fight. Meanwhile, Himari fought Ajaha with a giant demon. Suddenly, Yuto protected her when Himari was caught off guard. Yuto was severely injured by a slash from Ajaha, and Himari became angry and released all her strength. She defeated the giant demon instantly, but when she was about to kill Ajaha, Yuto stopped her, and the power in his rose to destroy everything around him. Shizuku goes to see them and finds them both unconscious. Shizuku uses her water power to heal Yuto. Himari wakes up and is upset to see Shizuku rubbing her body on Yuto, but it was effective because it could heal Yuto quickly. They return home, and Shizuku shows they have captured Sasa, but they must tie her up so she doesn't keep attacking. Shizuku found out information about Yuto's family after reading the book there. Yuto's family has one of the best skills in magic attacks and extraordinary strength, and even by using just an ordinary stick, Yuto can gain legendary sword level power. With that power, Yuto's family became the best among the 12 demon hunting families. Then Yuto asked if the Himari clan had any side effects because they had previously lost control when fighting. Shizuku confirmed it because, in the past, the head of the family killed an out-of-control demon. Yuto didn't want that to happen to Himari. Yuto met Himari, and she bathed in the lake. Yuto apologized for always burdening her during the fight. Himari is okay with it because she is his bodyguard and will defend him from anyone. That makes Yuto worry. If Himari continues to fight, he may get out of control and kill anyone around her. On the other hand, Ajaha saved Sasa and warned them not to relax because other demon hunters would come looking for him. Then Yuto starts a training session with Shizuku, but he can't generate his power anymore. Shizuku calls Rinko and Lizlet to help them. Shizuku says the most important thing to master his power is a strong mentality rather than a strong body. Yuto must strengthen his imagination and concentration because keeping a calm mind can control such extraordinary power. Lizlet finds a suitable exercise for Yuto. Lizlet tries to attach her boobs to Yuto and asks him to concentrate. But Himari saw them, and seeing Himari going crazy, they immediately left there. A few days later, while returning home from school, Yuto and Himari were suddenly attacked by a girl. It turns out that she is a demon hunter from 12 families named Kusu. Kusu says that Yuto's grandfather and her family have arranged their engagement. Himari doesn't care about that and immediately launches her attack, but Kusu manages to confine herself to Yuto so Kusu can talk to him. Because Yuto doesn't remember about her, Kusu gives him a kiss to refresh his memory. Finally, Yuto realizes Kusu was the girl in his first kiss long ago. Himari broke the barrier magic, but Kusu managed to avoid her attack and kissed Yuto again right before Himari. After that, Kusu decides to leave and will be waiting for Yuto's arrival in the next town since he is her fiancé. Before that, Kusu warned him that other demon hunters would attack them if he refused their engagement. The demon learned of Kusu's arrival, and they were worried because Kusu had killed many of their colleagues. In fact, they are also worried about the state of Yuto, whose strength has begun to rise. Shizuku assured them that Yuto was not a threat but that Kusu was the main problem they must solve as soon as possible. Then several demons followed Kusu, and although Kusu easily destroyed them, she felt a stronger demon. Kusu immediately met her, and it turned out to be Shizuku. They fought each other using their respective skills. Shizuku blocked all her attacks easily and made fun of Kusu by saying that Hira family was the weakest of the 12 demon hunters. This angered Kusu, and she launched a powerful attack. Shizuku was forced to run away from there because Kusu was very dangerous. On the other hand, Himari is jealous of Kusu, who gives Yuto a kiss. Since she had never kissed him, she tried to restrain herself and imagined how it would feel to kiss him. It made Himari unable to sleep, so she went straight to Yuto to ask him to do the same as Kusu. Himari hoped that at least Yuto would kiss her on the cheek so that her feelings could calm down. Finally, they kissed on the mouth, and Himari felt so happy that her cat ears appeared. Her feelings had calmed down, but now her heart was pounding. The next day, Shizuku was investigating Kusu at the tea shop, and she discovered that Kusu's family were demon hunters who had become stronger by studying Western magic. That's the reason Kusu is so strong and aggressive. Afraid of being targeted, Lizlet asked Yuto to protect her. Then Kusu sees them to discuss the future between Yuto's family and her. If the two families unite, it will give birth to a powerful successor. But Yuto disagreed until she changed her mind. Yuto did not understand why Kusu wanted to exterminate all the demons regardless of whether they were good or bad. It turns out that the Kusu family has always been underestimated by other demon hunters and even called a burden to demon hunters. Therefore, Kusu wanted to gain stronger power by marrying Yuto and exterminating all the demons to prove her power. Knowing Kusu's true intentions, Himari would not let that happen. In the afternoon, Himari challenged Kusu. At that time, Himari realized why Yuto was allergic to cats. It turns out that in the past, Kusu had cast magic on Yuto, thus making Yuto allergic to cats and making Himari, in the form of a cat, unable to approach him. Then, the fight began. Himari tried approaching her quickly to cut her down, but Kusu managed to trap her and used the American technique to corner her. It turned out that the bullets had side effects. As a result, Himari loses control and becomes a cat demon who eats humans. The intention to kill is getting stronger in Himari. When Himari wants to kill Kusu, she suddenly remembers Yuto. Thanks to that, Himari regained her consciousness and immediately left there. At the same time, Kusu trembled with fear after seeing Himari's true power. Then Yuto and Rinko were worried about Himari because she hadn't returned home. Suddenly, there was a sound on the second floor, and it turned out to be Himari. Although she was unconscious, they laid her on the bed so she could rest. Himari finally regained consciousness, but some of Kusu's magic remained in her body. She didn't want to wait until the magic was gone, so she took a special medicine that forcibly removed the magic from her body. While Himari took it, she lost consciousness and behaved like a cat. As her master, Yuto had to restrain Himari so that no objects were destroyed in his house. The next day, Himari was better. As a thank you for caring for her, Himari kissed him and promised not to lose again. Then Himari needs a new weapon because she lost her sword in the previous fight. One of the demons who served Yuto's family brought all the swords stored in the warehouse. Meanwhile, Yuto visits Kusu at a luxury hotel. Kusu immediately prepared tea for him and gave her best service to her fiancé. Yuto wanted to discuss their engagement because he had come to see her. Yuto explains that he is different from her and cannot walk with her because Kusu intends to exterminate all demons, so Kusu is not a friend to Yuto. Yuto also realizes that Kusu's family is almost extinct from 12 demon hunters, so Kusu needs Yuto's hidden power to revive her family's glory. Kusu went crazy and tried to kill Yuto. When Kusu wanted to stab him, suddenly, his power rose and threw Kusu out the window. Yuto tried to save her, but it was too late. At the same time, Yuto remembered his past with Kusu. Yuto is most enthusiastic about being a demon hunter and thinks that if they work together, they will become a strong team. They promised each other they would always be by her side and Yuto would protect her. Remembering all that makes Yuto upset with himself because he forgot everything even though Kusu always remembered that promise. And now she is a strong demon hunter. Kusu explains that the time she tried to stab him was just an act to awaken his power. Thanks to that, Yuto remembers their promise. Kusu promises not to look for fights anymore, but she wants to always be by Yuto's side so that Yuto realizes that she is better than them. It seems that Kusu really loves Yuto and is willing to take care of all his sexual urges from now on, saying that makes her embarrassed. At the same time, Himari appears there and has heard their conversation. Himari makes fun of her because Kusu is at tsundere. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a nine-tailed fox demon named Tama slaughtered the demon in the west and ate them all. Assistant Kusu tried to investigate, but when he arrived at the location, he saw that the forest had been completely destroyed and there were no survivors. The next day, Yuto and the others go to the park to learn landscape painting. Himari is willing to offer her body so that Yuto can paint it. Yuto is so shocked that his nose bleeds. Rinko tries to compete with Himari, and they argue. While Yuto sees a butterfly and intends to paint it, he is suddenly captured by Ajaha and taken to a deserted place. Ajaha tries to seduce him and uses a spell to put him to sleep, so that Ajaha can suck his blood, which she thinks is so delicious that it makes her tremble, and even her power increases dramatically. Shizuku reprimands Himari for letting Yuto be kidnapped. After discovering the culprit is Ajaha, they run to save him. They manage to find her, but Ajaha didn't want to fight because she knew she would lose if she fought against them. Ajaha said that there were rumors about someone slaughtering demons, so Ajaha increased her strength by sucking the blood of demon hunters before being attacked someday. At the same time, Kusu's assistant, Kaburagi, met them, so they went to the tea shop to talk about the case of demons being slaughtered and all the victims being devoured. They are convinced that the culprit is not human but a demon. Kaburagi wants Yuto to cooperate with public security because the demon is very dangerous, and might also be a danger to humans. Suddenly, the demon appeared to meet them. Tama and Shuten Daoji were two of the 3 strongest demons in Japan. Tama attacked Himari to eat her, but after one bite, she left her because Himari's body didn't feel good, but it seemed like she would taste good later, so Tama decided to leave her alone and eat her later. Kusu also came to the place to fight Tama, but they lost interest in fighting and decided to leave. After that, they gathered at Yuto's house because they didn't know when Tama would attack them. Kusu is also there. They discuss strategies to defeat Tama. They can defeat him by using Yuto's power. Unfortunately, Yuto still can't control his power. So, Ajaha proposes an idea to awaken his power. They all dress up and serve Yuto. They stick to Yuto with the excuse of awakening his power. After that, Yuto took Rinko to the supermarket to choose dinner together, and then Shizuku and Kaya met them. Based on their investigation, a long time ago, Shuten Daoji and Tama, the nine-tailed fox, were defeated by humans. Their bodies were sealed in various regions in Japan. It seems that Tama gained strength by eating another demon, so they ate another demon to regain their original bodies. Knowing about it, Kaburagi met Tama with Shuten Daoji to make a deal. They seem to have the same desire. Kaburagi will help them eat all the demons as long as they promise not to hurt humans. Shuten Daoji accepted it and tried to exploit Kaburagi because his hatred for humans never disappeared. Kaburagi, who doesn't realize he is only being used, thinks everything is going his way. Meanwhile, Himari was worried she would get out of control again in the fight and attack everyone around her. Hence, she decided to fight Tama on her own. Himari tried to go alone, but Yuto stopped her this time. Himari did that so that Yuto could be safe, but Yuto said that Himari was her bodyguard, so she had to be by his side. Those words convinced her to stay even though the others were willing to help in the fight later. The next day, Yuto practices swordplay with Himari, but to no avail. Shizuku says that his powers only manifest in situations of danger, so what they do is not very effective. Suddenly, Shuten Daoji creates a barrier in the city to prevent humans from getting hurt because of their deal. Sensing their evil energy heading her way soon, Tama will fight them all alone. Himari attacked first, but unfortunately, her attack didn't work as Tama had a powerful barrier. Even though they worked together, none of their attacks worked. Tama throws a bus at Himari, temporarily immobilizing her. Tama says that Himari is still immature. If she continues like this, she will not taste good. But Tama realized something. When she hurt Yuto, Himari lost control. Tama felt an extraordinary demonic energy in her body. Therefore, Tama choked Yuto's neck until he had difficulty breathing. Seeing that Himari lost control and attacked brutally. The words of Yuto managed to restore Himari's consciousness. For a while, Tama will release them and replan so that they can feed on Himari's demonic energy. While Yuto and the others go to his grandmother's house, they realize that Yuto is just a burden if he can't use his powers yet. Therefore, they must find a way for Yuto to use his power to defeat Tama. While Himari wanders around the place, remembering her memories with Yuto, Tama and Shuten Daoji appear in the lake. They release demonic energy to make the clouds dark. They forced Himari to release all her power if she wanted to protect the person who was important to her. Himari understood that so well that she forgot her promise to Yuto. That way, she could unleash all her power into a bloodthirsty demon. An earthquake occurred in that place, and realizing Himari was not there, Kusu thought Himari was fighting with Tama. Meanwhile, Himari sank further into the darkness, and her hair turned white. Himari continues to launch attacks crazily, and although her attacks are strong, unfortunately, Tama can avoid them easily. When Himari was caught off guard, Tama absorbed her power and finally released all her strength by turning into a nine-tailed fox. Tama managed to swallow Himari until she lost consciousness. At the same time, Yuto shouted, encouraging her. Himari heard that and managed to free herself from Tama's mouth. One deadly blow knocked Tama to the ground. Seeing Himari win, they were overjoyed and ran towards Himari. But Himari, in a wild state, did not recognize them and attacked them all. They fell individually. Although Shuten Daoji's plan did not go smoothly, he began to laugh as his dream of ending humanity was about to come true as Himari summoned the power of darkness. If left unchecked, then Himari will continue to go on a rampage, killing everyone around her. Yuto picked up a katana and intended to slash Himari to stop her. But Yuto remembered all the time they spent together since she appeared. So Yuto realized that he could not kill her, so he left his sword and received her with a hug. At the same time, Yuto's power rose. Himari could hear his words and returned to normal. Shuten Daoji gets annoyed that his plans are always thwarted by humans, so he plans to get rid of them himself. But now Yuto can use his powers because the key is his desire to defend his friends. So Yuto puts his power into a sword and gives it to Himari so that she can fight Shuten Daoji. Yuto's demon hunter power also created a new outfit for Himari, after which Himari could easily cut him. And finally, Shuten Daoji was wiped out. Then, they returned home together, and after that incident, they decided to live with Yuto, so that Yuto can have fun with all the girls. And that is the end of the video. Remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.